This is my fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth time trying to make a video. Um, it's hard to do this. It's kind of I don't know where to start with it. I did the Eastern race Tuesday, and I got DQ'd. Now this is the I think I had a 20-minute, but it triggered a 3 timeouts in 11 days, and truthfully, the last one on the Eastern was actually probably on purpose. Well, it was on purpose, but it wasn't. I was thinking it'll force it to move me up in that I can go past 2.6 that I saw a lot of people doing, which there's a number. I'm gonna have a lot of things in. I'm not starting over this video no more. I'm just gonna keep going from here. I'm not starting this thing over. I've tried to do it over and over. I got all these stat lines. I got everything. I've been talking to Swift. My team been working with me. So finally, my wife asked me, "Who is this video for?" After she heard I was doing it over and over and over again. And this video is for the Z Sons, Chantel and Stu, and the rest of the crew, the Suntastics, and them, and Steve and Lewis and BB and Petter, them over in the NTS threes. And Steve Elliott and all of them. This is for them, really, because they are kind of fighting for me when I was like at one point going, I'm free. There's a big thing about sandbagging that a lot of people talk about. Where you racing D or you really a C, or you racing C, you're really a B. In fact, In the Drop had a thing about cheaters this week. I think it came out about 2 days ago. I like watching In the Drop. And one of the things somebody said on there is that there was a girl doing a race and they was talking about the 3 pedals per second and then stop, and then 3 pedals per second and then stop. And they were talking about how she's doing dual verifications and she's videoing tape herself, and she's doing that, and they call it sticky wattage, I think it's called. And it was very intelligent because one of the guys said that she's not doing it on purpose, so Swift has to do a better job of talking about cheating. And that is true because I'm sending all this stuff in about my numbers and all that. And I get some, I'm gonna put it in here, but it felt like I was being fat shamed by the company actually. I mean, it was like I'm 177 kilograms, and I'm putting out 400 watts, and that's irregular and rare. And I'm going, maybe I'm irregular and rare. So the keep summing this up, I'm talking more or less because I had so many things on my mind from the first day I went. I'm gonna tell you what I did. So after this happened, I'm off on Fridays normally. So I grabbed my whole bike. I'm gonna show it in the video on one of these sides. You're gonna see my gym again. I grabbed my whole effing setup and took it to Trek, Trek. I got the video, the entrance, me driving, and my wife was like, let's we go in there. I go inside, and Kevin and Nick and all these, they took my bike, and I told them what was going on. And then I showed them the 90-day progression to 2.5. And the weirdest thing they did, now all these, they back there, all of them come out from the back, and they looking at it, and they trying to figure out what's going on wrong. And I explained to them that I'm gonna look on my paper. I'm gonna call him. I'm not trying to call him up, but I'm saying somebody like a VJ, that Jeb and Nick. I think it's Nate 139. Y'all can see him in my. I'm gonna have names up here so you can see it. Shitbird 16. I'm gonna call them. They were all like, "We're experts, and what you're doing is it's impossible. You should be on an Olympic team, and you're no." And the funny thing is that when I took this bike up there to Trek, I took my thing with the pedals, and they have this instrument they take and they turn the pedals, and they calibrate to make sure, and it tells them if the pedals are wrong. Now, first of all, they looked at me and said, "You don't need that." And I told them what, and I showed them this 90-day here. It's going to be on one of these sides, and they said, "That makes sense." And I was like, but if you want us to test it, we'll do it. And they said, and when they did, they said, man, I said, so I actually, took it around back. This thing, my bike is really heavy. It's like 150 pounds, the extra bike with the pedals and everything I use. And they took it around back and they did it and checked it out and said, nothing wrong with this thing, man. What do they expect you to do? What kind of power do they not do? And as my son and I was wheeling the thing and with it out the front door, one of the guys yelled, this name, big guys make big power. And I was like, wow. He said, ain't it the WKG is what they focusing on? Why is that the issue? And I was like, well, these guys, and my son looked at me, he said, Dad, I'm very confident in a lot of things I do. He said, Dad, you got these folks letting you doubt yourself. And I was like, you're right. It's good. So then Kevin, which is here, said, hey, Ty, won't you get on our trek, our Neo trek? I was like, I'm too heavy for that. And they kept everybody, then we all like 6 of them, they said, don't stand up. It was really funny. They said, don't stand up. And I was like, okay, now when I got on the bike, I think it was a medium because it's a display. It's got the trick. Um, I got on the bike that day. I'm gonna put the film on because I got on and I'm like, okay, let me hold on. So there's so much going on. Um, After they told me numbers wrong on my bike, I'm like, well, it's showing them numbers wrong. It's showing 500 watts. So Kevin said, get on the bike. So I got on the bike and I rode my bike in front of them and I turned on Zwift on my phone and I started riding and nobody in that store, no, it was some people in there getting their bikes repaired. It was some people in there getting some stuff done. But yet I'm being told on Zwift by the gatekeepers, these 4 or 5 or whatever, I'm with them 4 numbers up because they're the ones that yell the loudest. But then there's people like Markin Zwift and Main Selector Electric Zwift. He's another one. They're cool guys. In fact, Mark can accuse me of using an e-bike. When I showed my gym footage on the 3,000 mile, he said, "Man, I'm sorry for accusing you." I'm gonna put. He said, "I'm sorry. I still think something's wrong, but I'm sorry for accusing you." I try to have open it. I tell everybody if you want to, as I say, put comments in there, come back with you. I like the openness in the dialogue. But yet the Jeb guy was like, I don't need to text you. And he just kept. And so I told my son, it wasn't that I was upset about people denying me or I wasn't doubting myself, but the last straw was the reason I started going past the numbers of these. You see, I'm gonna put it up there where I got like 3 and 11 days. Um, Swift has some numbers like I showed you here. I'm probably gonna keep popping it up and down because I'm talking about this a lot. Swift has these numbers and it's a 90-day thing. Read it at the bottom. Somebody said there's no such thing as a 90. You can read it at the bottom. It's every 90 days. Um, Swift has these numbers, and these numbers are telling you what you. I thought it was the number of like it said 2.57. It said peak, but I feel like this my last peak thing for 5 miles. I think it was 20 minutes, but like October 20th. In fact, this week alone, I've lost 5 pounds. Yay! Um, I'm actually 173 now instead of 170. I think I'm 173 instead of 177 now. Some I went from 388 pounds to 383 pounds. So I'm 5 pounds down. And my weight, my doctors figured that was sort of really started happening back when I saw them on June 12th. All my I see them all at the same time. My endocrinologist, my main doctor, my sleep apnea, I see all of them. And the reason for that is that if y'all don't know, you see my intro, I'm working on my private pilot's license. And there's a thing when you have sleep apnea or you're a diabetic, which I have both well under control, losing weight. There's a thing where for me to get my physical done, it's called a special issuance. So I have to have all my doctors in line. I even had my heart doctor check my. I've had a EKG, I had audio, I had an endoscope, what an echogram, where they film it. And then I also had where they put the nuclear blood stuff test and they run through your heart. Everything is fine with me. I suggest anybody else, especially I'm gonna be 50 this year. So if you're out there and you're trying to do things, I suggest everybody do it. I know this is a very long intro. The video is only gonna probably be about 20 minutes long. So bear with me. I'm sorry. There's a lot on my mind. I've been wanting to get off. I want to get on. I'm gonna be honest. At first, I wanted to come over here, name everybody's talk trash about me, or who didn't want to hit nothing on the other end, and just go F you, F you. Put the David Chappelle thing up there. Haters gonna hate. My son would say that the whole time. It was just validating to see them go, okay. So let me get back to what's going on here on the video. Um, so Kevin said, "Hey, get on that Neo Trek." He said, "We got to display by the bike is small, so it's not gonna look right on you. You're saying this thing, you got tennis shoes." I said, so I said, I don't know if I'm gonna put them. I get on the thing. Now, let me say something I'm gonna start the video up while I'm here so you're gonna see me looking down so I can tell y'all about what's going on. And you see I'm uploading it. And what I did was I did it the first day, I did it that Friday. And so when I got home, when I did that Friday, it was on my phone. First they got a big garment display. And we had a problem getting it on. Kevin had a problem getting it connected to the garment display. And so I was just like, I wonder if this thing will hook the Swift on my phone. So I cut on my phone, and lo and behold, when it booted up, Tech, it said Neo Tech, and it popped up on my phone. And so I started riding. At that time, it was going uphill, and I was just putting out 500 watts. And I was like, I'm being honest with y'all, I was like, oh my God, I'm actually doing it. I had let people get in my head that the watt numbers I was doing was so fake. No, they were real. And so, but nobody still, I called the guy, Nick, I think it was Nick who came over. I think he's the manager, whatever. They came over, looked at the numbers, and they were like, okay. And they just walked out like, you're a big dude. What do you expect? If I get on there, I'm going to show way different numbers than what you do. It was, so this video has been very hard to do because I don't know where to start. I would put what Swift said to me, and we've been talking back and forth, and Chantel's been working with me, and I'm doing this for Lewis, who let me on the NTS3s. I think they had a problem one time with a cheater, and they got in trouble. So he was very hesitant because of my numbers. And BB, thank you, man, for talking to him and showing my videos. And um, thank you, man. Chantel and the NTS3s and the Sons and Stu and Steve, all of y'all, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Um, I had made up my mind. The most enjoyable thing was getting disqualified, and they were saying I had to get an E certification, whatever that is. And I'm like, do any other D's have to do that? I understand dual certification when I got up to B and A or maybe even C enough time, which I am going that I gotta lose more weight to get on that thing. They was sure that I could probably ride it standing up, but they suggested probably 50 more pounds, get me down about 325, even though the rating for that is 275 to Tech Neo. They said, get me down about 325. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, my hydro I talk about all the time, I'm still technically 8 pounds from being certified limit for that thing. It's 375. I started around my hydro when I was like 475. don't don't tell them. Um, I'm trying to make this video a lot smaller than what it is. It's just so much on my mind going. It's so much you want to get off your chest because when you're told you're cheating and it's something you're starting to be passionate about, I'm gonna tell you what. I ran my first race on Swift June 29th. I'm gonna put it up here. And as of today, I have 189 races. I got 2 races I'm gonna do today. I'm doing a ladder race. And so the reason I started making this video is because the Fantastic, which I ran the race that started all of this last week, Tuesday's American Open, Well, lo and behold, my company got me running out of town Monday morning about 3 in the morning, and I got to go to North Carolina, and I'll be back Tuesday afternoon, and I can run that night race. But I'm disqualified, and you only can get in that race with a team. Well, the team was like, "You gonna race with us?" I'm like, "But I don't want to hurt the team because my points ain't gonna count right now." Now, Swift did send me an email once it's all settled. They can always go back and give me my points, so that's fine. They did send me that, and they're gonna escalate it on up to who it needs to go to. But I'm making this video for them because they didn't have to do that. The ladder race today, NTS3s do ladder races on the weekends. I mean, try to make them home to the point next week when we got another one. And I'm doing this because they believe in me, and they didn't believe what was going on. I'm a big guy. I make big power, but my WKG is in line with everything else. It's weird, man. Another reason I make videos is I'm put it here. It's my stepfather. He's 70 some years old. He just went through COVID. He's a military vet. Uh, he was in the Nam. He was a door gunner, and him and my mama watch my videos. And he was real sick a while back. And hey, man, if you're a praying person, if you're somebody who uh who just hey holistically think, hey, if I just think power in the universe, it helps people out. Do it for him, Papa Doug. He's my Papa Doug. They enjoy watching my videos. So I had told myself I would just race. Um, I told myself I just race regular old videos. I just race single races and don't worry about it. And the freeing part of that is that I wouldn't have to be beholden to trying to stay up on the number. You got to understand, there have been people who, MT, Gary, the last straw for me was Paul last week. They've been racing me, but I got a 20-minute out back in September. And that's when I realized that this thing was saying I couldn't go past 2.6. So when I started racing, I was doing everything to kind of stay up on that number, but I wasn't racing the opponents. I was racing the number. And as I got better now, I'm still racing the number and I'm beating people who are racing me. So technically, because of Swift telling me you can't go over this number, but the number's still too low to put me in C, but I can go to C, but my weight is restricting me in C. So I'm in this weird boundary where I want to stay in D until I get some more weight off. So at least I go to C and not every race because I do C's. And you see me do the ladder event, and today's a ladder event, and mostly everybody's C. I think I'm going to be the only D. But it's Glasgow, one of my fastest courses. And I can last on that course. And I'll probably come pretty good in that course, especially if there's no B's in there. Um, oh God, this video is long, man. I'm sorry. Um, it's just so much I'm talking about. Um, I'm gonna race that race, but my Papa Doug likes watching me. They think it's so fun. They say it look like I'm fighting the video. When they look at my little picture up in the corner, they my mama laughs and my Papa Doug, he can't he's dealing with Parkinson's. I don't put a lot out there, but he thinks it's so funny to watch me in these videos. So I have a certain time they come out. And I know they're probably gonna be kind of sad to see this video, but I'm putting it out tomorrow. But the good thing about it is my team was like, both of them was like, no, you're gonna still raise it up. The team members were like, no, you're gonna. I'm like, but I'm hurting y'all because my points don't count. They're like, no, once it's settled up, your points will count. And if I stay banned for the 90 days or whatever they put the little ban in for, I don't know what it is, I'll take it in stride and keep running. But the funny thing is, until this thing forces me up, I don't have to race against that number no more. I get to be free. And me racing free and not worried about what numbers coming out. The reason for the sauce is because it started letting me see my 20-minute out. And after Paul moved up because he was trying to keep up with me, something fell to them. So from now on, until they move me up, I'm racing that race Tuesday night, and that night was even me trying to stay up under the number, and I slightly went over. Fuck the number. I'm just gonna race now. Man, keep liking my stuff, subscribing to all the people who give me love, to all the military vets out there, man. Overseas, here. Like I said, my Papa Doug, my father who passed away. My mom was married 34 years and he passed away. My mama met Papa Doug like 7 years, 8 years later, and they got remarried. They got married, and he both my dads was in and they're vets. Both of them had different ideologies about the war. You understand? My father's black and my stepfather's white, so they had different views. Both of them loved the military, but they had different views on military. My father, when I came out, I thought about going. He was absolutely against it. Pop Doug would have probably been more for it. So there's two different views. Now, my father always was like, "Hey, always take your view, somebody who got an opposing view, and find somebody in the middle." And that way you can always figure out where you stand on something. And that's how I do things. So I want to tell everybody, to the vets, anybody out there, man, thank y'all for what y'all have done. I went and hung up my Papa Doug's Marine flag on the wall. And it's nice, man. He's anyway, thank y'all for subscribing to me. If y'all have any questions, I'm as open as I can be. This is the only way I can do this video. Thank y'all up there at Trek, man. Kevin, Frank, all of y'all, man, Nick, all of y'all, man. Thank y'all for what y'all did for me. This video is done. I'm gonna start a new series, incognito, um, until I get this disqualification stuff over with. And incognito, I get to be incognito, meaning that I'm still gonna be me, but y'all will see, and I get to be free. Love y'all, man, and ride on.